It's all about being real and working in real time. But I think it allows us some opportunities that weren't available before. Certainly causes us to redefine and rethink what we value from a corporate standpoint. And I really seriously think that culture and corporate focus and visions outside your brand and your building, what you're doing globally and what you're doing in a community, will start to take precedence in terms of those of you in HR for people that are looking at you. And I think social media is one of the fine tools with which you can drive that and develop that for the benefit of all. So I thank you very much for your time this morning. It's been delightful. And any questions?
Yeah, questions.
Absolutely.
I've got I was surprised seeing the movie, social media, and also the book Accidental Millionaires. Just surprised on how they make money. They sell. How do they sell ads? Or how?
Facebook has their own ads. I mean, a lot of what you're seeing, interesting in social media. I can speak to that on two levels. Facebook has their own ad campaign. If you're on a Facebook page, anything to the right of that page, those are ads. Those paid per click or click-through rates. Those are ads, and that's how they're generating it. Twitter is just unrolling ad campaigns. In other words, they're paid tweets. And that will work in this regard. Starbucks has already been doing it. I'm a coffee drinker. So if I tweet something about, oh, I just had a great cup of coffee, there is a good chance within the very near future that I'm going to get a tweet from Starbucks that Starbucks is paying big bucks for, that says, oh, you love coffee, have you tried our new, Sunnyvale, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so this is how they're running ads. This is the latest role for Twitter, because there was that shift, and there's been a lot of changes. About 4 months ago, if I saw, I don't know if any of you played on Twitter, but when Twitter's having trouble, you get this pop-up screen that shows you this whale that's being held up by the birds. Basically, they're going down. And they went through this big hash over on redesign of their algorithm in preparation of that, and that's exactly what they're doing, is they're doing paid tweets. So Facebook has been running Facebook ads, for some time now. The other big player in Facebook are the games. I don't know, anybody in here play Farmville? Okay, Farmville. The gaming industry on Facebook is growing at an exponential rate. I am not a gamer, not my cup of tea, but big bucks. They're getting the company that does Farmville, for instance, about 6 months ago got a $300 million investment to continue that, because people pay to play. So there's another venue. But Twitter is the latest to jump on board with ad campaigns, and that's really where a lot of their funding is coming to Twitter. You're going to get tweets now based on what you tweet. You're going to receive tweets from the big boys that are willing to pay to get a tweet under your nose based on those search terms. Basically, they're using the search terms.
Is there local or regional advertising as opposed to,
Absolutely. With Facebook, you can drill that down. I mean, I could put out a Facebook that drilled it right down to people that owned their own businesses and were between the ages of 18 and 35 that lived in Columbus, Indiana, 25 miles radius. So you can be very specific with that.
This week on the news, I saw something about fear that identities might be given away by going to the ads that are on Facebook.
I missed that one.
Okay.
That identities might be given away by going to the
Yeah, that you might be giving away too much of your personal information if you go to...
Any good hacker can get more information than they need to know without going to Facebook. I mean, really, it's out there. If they're going to get you, they're going to get you. Can you speak to that, Anthony?
Well, there are tactics that folks use. So, for instance, you could click through that ad and they will have you sign up for something.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean a sort of phishing scam through
Right.
Facebook? So, and I mean, it's not new. I mean, they've been phishing on email for forever. We all know that. I mean, I don't care how many emails a day do we get from whoever and wherever that needs to send me $1 million, and I only have to send them back $800,000 of it. That is shifting over to Facebook because that's where people are playing. And you will see, as I said, I frequently cull people's accounts for some idiot that wants to tell me how to lose 50 pounds by tomorrow. And so those posts come down. They are phishing, and they will fish through that sort of thing. But it's like anything else. It's a common sense sort of approach. If somebody's asking for information, and you haven't gone there, you need to back out and go there that way. So that follows. Jim.
I know our morning show this morning was talking about how, well, Brittany, for instance, said that she had read an article or heard something about all of her friends being able to see her phone number. All of her settings were private. Well, she went back this morning and they weren't set to private anymore.
Every once in a while, they'll rewrite that algorithm, and that has been an ongoing battle for Facebook. It really has been.
So how do you keep your employees, and because of course, I require that our sales team have Facebook pages and do LinkedIn to communicate better with our customers.
Right.
So there are so many of them too that are, some of the ones that are a little older, they're so afraid that someone is going to steal their identity or
They can steal it
get more
faster without
information.
them being on Facebook. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the guys can dig it out of the trash faster than me.
How do you get them to buy into that though?
And that's a hard sell. I mean, it's like any other tool. They don't have to put that information. You don't have to put a phone number. Those are
Right.
all optional. So for those those employees that you're trying to get in that game frame, I would encourage that slow ramp in. Don't have them put all that information. Just have them engage to the level that they're comfortable
Sure.
with. And as you saw, the highest growth rate on Facebook is women the ages 55 to 65.
Right.
When that came through a few months ago, I was like, really? Because that counterintuitive to where I was coming from. I mean, let's face it, the teenagers have been cornering the market for a long time. They're not doing it on Twitter, but they are doing it on Facebook. But I think the best way is to let them play at the level they're comfortable. Just
Sure.
don't put that information out.
Well, then of course they think that this is just a fad and it's going to be gone too.
And I'll be
That's
honest
the
with you,
next biggest thing
yeah,
right
a few
there.
years ago, I probably would have been in camp with them because I am on the older end of the scale in terms of people doing social media. But
I
the
mean,
numbers
it's
are
gonna play
there.
to me,
I mean,
yeah.
we can sit here, I mean, you don't have to engage. We can sit here all day long and have that debate. Facebook's not going away anytime soon. Is it the right place for everybody to play? Absolutely not. But if you're going to play on social media and it suits your objectives and your goals, it's, nobody wanted to touch it. Let's think about this. Let's back up to 1984 when nobody had laptops. Or let's just go to computers. And what a big, I'll never forget my father who had to buy to get his secretary a word processor because we have typewriters, we don't need word processors. So it's the new tool, and it is a little different because it is not a tangible, per se, tool, but it's the same struggle that we've been having all along. You know, the introduction, we didn't think the World Wide Web was going to stick either. Everybody just thought that was a passing fancy. And I don't know about you, and I don't think I mean, I wouldn't be able to find another phone number if the web didn't exist because as far as I'm concerned, the phone books are extremely passé. They are just really good for propping stuff up anymore. So I think I mean, some people you're never going to convince, but if you need them to do it, the thing is to tone it down to the point of where they're comfortable. And so maybe their avatar or their icon that represents them. In your business, though, you like that visual sort of persona.
Yeah.
So their avatar is important. But then they may not want to post personal photos and they may not want to share that. So you let them come in at the point that they're comfortable. What don't you like and what do you like? And chances are, most of the times in those situations, once they really start getting into it, they begin to share. I put out a blog